I'm an immigrant. I was born in the city of Bombay in the great country of India. You might know the city is Mumbai, Bollywood. And in this city, I was born to a mother who was a movie star and my father who was an architect. This was a great existence. I have to say, we were so comfortable. As a matter of fact, on any given day, we had 7 to 9 people to help us through our day. We had a daily staff. We also had a live-in staff. We had also an on-demand staff. In other words, I was a princess. But of course, princesses also get married. And so did I. And I followed my husband to the United States. I found that I had gone from a conservative culture to a modern culture. I'd gone from a communal culture to an individualistic culture. Community is huge in the Indian culture. We do everything with community. Our children are born, the whole community shows up. Everything is done together. Not so much in the United States, I come to find out. I also went from a career, I was a teacher back home, to what's known as an F2 visa. An F2 visa is the dependent of the student. This visa gives us the right to stay in the United States for a longer period of time than a period of a few weeks or a few months without having to leave the border and come back in again. Other than that, we had no rights. I couldn't work. Of course, I couldn't vote. Social services were not available to me. All I was a housewife at home, taking care of business every day. And then, of course, I come to find out that I went from September the 3rd, 1990 to March the 9th, 1990. The dates, oh my gosh, the dates. The amount of checks that I have had to destroy because I couldn't write the date correctly. The amount of documents I've had to initial. And there was the ever-loving driving on the right side of the street. I drove everywhere in India. Told the chauffeur, I want to steal the car. I want to learn how to drive a stick shift. Done. I come here and I'm turning into traffic. So I went to driving school to learn how to drive an automatic car, how not to turn into traffic, what the green arrow meant, and that pedestrians always have the right of way. So many changes kept coming, kept unfolding. And these were big lifestyle changes. But I was young and I thought, no worries. I told my husband, I love you so much, I'd follow you to the North Pole. And he decided to call my bluff and found his first job in Minot, North Dakota. And so I went from looking out my window all my life and seeing this to looking out of my window and seeing this. I also come to find out that the low temperature is no more going to be 64 degrees Fahrenheit. The average low temperature in Minot, North Dakota was minus 47 degrees. And that's without the wind chill. With the wind chill, it went down to the 60s. When you learn the hard way that after a certain point when the mercury dips, do not use your naked hand to open a door because you may not be able to pull it back. It'll freeze there. You remember these things. I went from a bustling city with a land area of 233 square miles, pulsating, to a small little town of 27 miles total. I went from a population of 13 million and change. I couldn't turn around in India and not hit somebody, to a town that was 34,000. And it got better. The year we got married, the US federal poverty line was 11,000 and change. Our total income was $770 less. Of this 10,800, We were sending money back home to his parents every month. And what was left was what I had to stretch for a household of 3 in the US. But all of this was chump change compared to the change that was about to come my way. My biggest change was still ahead of me, and I didn't know that. Because the man that I married and followed to the United States left the United States and me in it. Change, ladies and gentlemen, is not a big enough word.